Hello and welcome everyone to the 13th episode of Into the Unknown. In the last episode, we built a nice looking oasis while looking at Genesis 16 and discovered the story of the birth of Ishmael. And I had some fun experimenting with some shaders, and I think it looks really nice. But unfortunately, I can only make screenshots, and I have to adjust the camera beforehand and then switch the shaders on, because I get up to 1 frame per second with the shaders activated, so that's definitely not playable, but it makes for some really nice pictures, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Please put your opinion in the comments, so I can see if you like a few implementations of the shaders, and if you enjoy these pictures. In today's episode, I want to continue with the Oak of Mamre, because it looks kind of funny just standing around here. It's basically a stump, and I really want to get some progress done. We are going to take a look at the backside, right around here, and replace this mess over here with the root. And yes, I totally meant to land down here. And no, I can't start again. We will just ignore this part. Before we can start constructing the root, I of course have to remove the prototype that was there already, so we have a nice starting point. So far so good. We had a nice starting point, and I was ready to construct the root. Maybe too ready. Because I tried to wing it and just build it freestyle, the result was just horrendously ugly. And I don't even dare to show it to you, because it might hurt your eyes. So I did it again, and this time the proper way. I went into Creative Copy of this world and built a prototype that is at least decent looking, made some screenshots, and tried to rebuild the root as accurate as possible in this world. It turned out to be not as easy as I thought, because distinguishing all these corners from each other is quite difficult when they all look the same, and it's an organic looking build which is completely unstructured. But I have some ideas how I could work around it for the next root, and of course for the canopy as well, but we'll get to that. So here we go. Here's the time lapse of the second try of this route. Hopefully you enjoyed. The second attempt looks way better now. And now the only big part missing downstairs is the route going into the river. And of course, the canopy is still missing. So we need a lot of wood. Because only this route took around 3/4 of a double chest of logs. So I need more time just standing around, loading the bone meal farm. And I forgot about the phantoms. Let's go to bed really quickly. I will finish my sentence in a bit. As I was saying, we need some AFK sessions at the bone meal farm, and using the tree farm afterwards. We constructed in episode 7 already. That's quite a long time ago. So we can get enough wood to construct this tree. Oh no, I know this sound. Are you serious? This route is freshly built, and you are already invading it. But there are 2 cats on it, which is really nice. And I totally meant to do that. I of course only wanted to show you why I have this yellow thing in my offhand all the time, exactly for this reason. So if I would take fatal damage and have this item in my offhand, I don't die, but I get some buffs and regen, and the item is consumed. It's really nice to have. Let's grab some fish out of our shulker box and get these cats. These cats are really easy to befriend, because they don't run away. That's a plus point for the route, I guess. So you can stay right here, and I really like how these 2 look. I think the orange one has a really nice color, and the white one with the 2 different colored eyes looks really nice too. Now that we have made some progress on the Oak of Membre and got some new friends, it is story time again. And today we will read Genesis 17, the verses 1 to 8 and 15 to 22. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abram and said to him, I am God Almighty, walk before me and be blameless, that I may make my covenant between me and you, and may multiply you greatly. Then Abram fell on his face, and God said to him, Behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be the father of a multitude of nations. No longer shall your name be called Abram, which means exalted father, but your name shall be Abraham, which means father of a multitude. For I have made you the father of a multitude of nations. I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make you into nations, and kings shall come from you. And I will establish my covenant between me and you, and your offspring after you throughout the generations for an everlasting covenant, to be God to you and to your offspring after you. And I will give to you and to your offspring after you the land of the sojournings, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And God said to Abram, As for Sarai your wife, you shall not call her Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. I will bless her, and moreover I will give you a son by her. I will bless her, and she shall become nations. Kings of people shall come from her. Then Abram fell on his face and laughed, and said to himself, Shall a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? Shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a child? And Abraham said to God, Oh, that Ishmael might live before you. God said, No, but Sarah your wife shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name Isaac, which means he laughs. I will establish my covenant with him, as an everlasting covenant for his offspring after him. As for Ishmael, I have heard you. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful and multiply him greatly. He shall father 12 princes, and I will make him into a great nation. But I will establish my covenant with Isaac, whom Sarah shall bear to you at this time next year. When he had finished talking with them, God went up from Abraham. That's the story from Genesis 17. I just added the meanings of the names, because most people, I will include myself in this list, don't know the meanings of the names when they just hear them. So I added them to give you a little bit more context. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We made some progress, made some friends, and continued the story. Even though the story today wasn't very interesting visually, we still continued the story, which is great. And the story will be much more interesting soon, with a lot of things happening. So stay tuned. And I hope you enjoyed it and had a great time watching the episode. And I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye.